video is for tuning with the pegs up here, which we use for larger adjustments when your violin is very out of tune, like this one. This is my backup violin that does not get used a lot, so it sits in a case in my closet for a very long time, and it's not great quality, so it goes out of tune pretty easily. But it's a great example on how to tune an extremely out of tune and perhaps difficult violin. So just like when we tune to the fine tuner, you'll want to have some kind of tuning app, and this is where it becomes very helpful to have one where you can hear what the string is supposed to sound like, and it also is helpful to have one that tells you what octave you should be in. I talked in the last video about how these numbers correspond to particular octaves, because if I pluck my D string right now, it says it's a D sharp, which sounds like it's close, right? But it's actually not, because this D sharp is down here, and I actually need to tune this to the D, not the one right next to it. I need it to be that D. So yeah, it's not as close as it seems. If I tuned it to this, it would not sound right with the other strings. Alright, so when you're tuning with a peg, you've got to have some kind of technique going to hold your violin in place. Whichever side, so I'm tuning D, which is on the left side, which means I'll need my left hand, of course, to turn the peg. I'm going to use my right hand to both brace the violin and pluck the string. So I put my, whatever hand is doing the bracing and the plucking, right up here on top, and I use my thumb to pluck the string. You need to have like a sturdy brace on the violin, because when we turn the peg, you also need to push it in. The pegs on a violin are just friction pegs. There's no gear or mechanism like on like a guitar peg or even a double bass that holds it in place. You have to hold it in place as you're turning it and just jam it in there. So I'll show you this D first as an example. Now, when you're tuning with the peg, most likely it's because your string is significantly too low. And to make it higher, you'll just kind of want to, you can sort of see based on the winding of the string, you're going to turn it away from you to make it higher. And you want to be very careful, and this is why you should be able to pluck the string as you're doing this. You don't want to go too far, because that's how you break a string. By tightening it too much, that can make the string snap. So, for this, I'm going to do the D string. I'm trying to prop this up so you can see it as I'm doing this. You might not really be able to, but I'm doing my best. Alright, so I'm going to pluck this D. Look at my tuner. And you can see I'm pushing it in and plucking as I'm turning. And watching this go up. So it got up to C4, which is close. I need it to be at D4. There we go. Now, for most of you, you have 4 fine tuners, so you don't need to get it perfect with the peg. You can get it close and then tune it the rest of the way with the fine tuners. Mine actually only has 1 fine tuner, so I do need to get it pretty much perfect with the peg. I'm not going to spend the time to do that now, but yeah, most of you shouldn't have that problem. Once you get it really close, you can finish it up with the fine tuner. If all of your strings are really out of tune like mine, you'll want to tune all of them. I'm just checking on mine and make sure that my bridge is still standing up pretty straight. If it looks like your bridge is starting to like tilt, it looks like it's gonna fall out, stop tuning, text or email me. I will guide you how to set that up. Hopefully that doesn't happen to any of you while you do this, but if it does, it's not a big deal. It's fixable. But yeah, so you'll want to do that with all of your strings. If, like I said, if they're all really out of tune, you want to do all of them and then go back and check all of them, because sometimes when they're all really out of tune and then you tune them up, it does cause the bridge to shift slightly, and they can go out of tune. The other thing is, after you tune with the pegs, even like during your practice session, things might start to slip a little bit and go out of tune again. So you want to, if things start to sound off, you might want to check after your practice session to make sure everything's still in tune. But that's the gist of it. Like I said, it is difficult and annoying to tune with the pegs. If you encounter any trouble, text or email me. I'll do my best to respond right away. And yeah, so it can be a little daunting. Try not to be too afraid of it, but do be careful that you don't break a string because it is difficult to purchase strings right now. Just let me know, as always, if you guys have any questions.